What's up, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Real Housewives of Potomac star Candiace has officially exposed Gizelle for being behind a plot to destroy their co-star Monique's marriage. And my jaw is on the floor at the level of vitriol that these two have for Monique for seemingly no real reason at all. According to Candiace, the plan was hatched after Andy Cohen's baby shower in New York City, where the Housewives of Potomac cast got together and decided to start hammering out some storylines. And apparently it was Gizelle who decided that this year they were going to go after Monique. They were plotting on Monique while she was pregnant, or she had just given birth at this point, but she was in a really precarious place in her life, in terms of the child. So it's wild to think that this woman, who was a first lady of a church when she was married to Gizelle Bryant and is now trying to be the first lady of the church again, now that she's back dating her cheating ex-husband, that this woman would do something so disturbing, so disgusting, and so vile to Monique for seemingly no reason at all. I've watched every single episode of this show, and I cannot name a single instance where Monique did something to Gizelle that was so horrible that she would be deserving of Gizelle trying to spread a rumor that she cheated on her husband Chris with her personal trainer, and that her baby Chase did not belong to Chris. That is a psychotic level of revenge that someone would try to get on someone else who tried to kill them, or I don't know, their pet or something like that. But just based off Monique and Gizelle's history of just petty drama, this the punishment does not fit the crime. Yes, I will admit that there was a time that Monique did something incredibly shady to Gizelle when Gizelle was dating a retired athlete named Sherman. They were only together for a couple of months. I think it was 3 months at that point. And Monique decided, in collaboration with Charisse, to bring Sherman's ex-wife onto the show. And they talked about how Sherman had cheated on the ex-wife. He was caught in a park with a prostitute or something like that. Yes, that was messy. Yes, that was dirty. But it is nowhere near this caliber of messy and dirty. This is destroying an actual family, messy and dirty. What Monique did was petty, bringing up old rumors about Sherman. She never intimated that Sherman was cheating on Gizelle or anything like that. She was just letting the audience know that Sherman is a shady character and that this is all Gizelle seems to be able to get. She seems to scrape the bottom of the barrel for men, and even then she can't hang on to them. So I guess that is where Monique was going with it, which, like I said, was a horrible thing to do, but it's not at all like what Gizelle is doing to Monique over here. So anyway, Candiace, in her expose of what was going on, the plan that Gizelle had set in motion, she said that she allegedly tried to warn Monique about it, but Monique went on Instagram yesterday and denied that. She's like, that is not true. What Candiace did was tell Karen about the plot, presumably, in my opinion, thinking that Karen would kind of turn on Monique and go along with it for the storyline to keep the heat off of her, because Gizelle also has a hard-on for Karen. She is always going at her at every turn. So maybe Candiace thought that Karen would go along with it to keep the heat off of her. I don't know. But what Karen did, the loyal queen, grand dame that she is, was give Monique the heads up about what was going on. And that's why Monique fell out with Charisse and Candiace yet again. Charisse, the fact that Charisse was one of the first architects of this lie as well, alongside Gizelle. One thing I noticed about Charisse is that she's always behind rumors of people having an affair. She accused Gizelle of creeping around with some fireman or something like that. She accused Karen of creeping around with Blue Eyes. I think that Charisse is so, like Gizelle, so miserable in terms of her lack of success with relationships and marriage, that she is constantly attacking other people's relationships because she wants their relationships to crumble so that they could be alone just like she is. And yeah, it's pretty pathetic, especially when children are involved, when a pregnant woman is involved or a woman who just gave birth is involved, and it's a lie, but you want to put it on television so that these children can be impacted, so that this family can be impacted. That is just plain evil. I think that there's something wrong upstairs with anybody who would peddle this sort of a lie about a happy family. you know? And not only that, but the fact that Monique put the pause on Candiace after Candiace flicked her hair at this event is going to be shown later on in the season. And Gizelle used that as an opportunity to say that Monique fed into some sort of stereotype about black women, set black women black, yada, 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 as if Gizelle does not embody every negative stereotype about women, period. The cattiness, the constant bullying, the belittling, you know, the elitism, all that stuff. Like, she is known amongst the cast, even amongst her children. Her children are constantly telling her that she's a bully. And she just keeps going forward with like the attacks on other women. And like, now here she is starting this rumor that this woman, and she knows it's a lie, that this woman cheated on her husband and that their child is not biologically her husband's child. The fact that she would architect that, and then when the woman has a reaction to it, a very understandable reaction to people that she thought were her friends, spreading something like that around, she turns around and acts like that like Monique is like this crazy animal who is like horrible representation of black womanhood, as if this is not all, you know, her responsibility. I just don't get it. I am 100% speechless at the kind of woman that Gizelle is. I have never liked this girl from day one. I've always thought that her attitude was disgusting. But now to hear that this is the level that she took things to, I don't even know what to say, especially after watching the second episode of The Real Housewives of Potomac this season, because in the second episode, she decides to meet up with Monique for lunch to try and call a truce. But it's at this lunch, after she already like came up with this plot to claim that Monique was cheating on her husband. So at this lunch, to further drive a wedge between Monique and Candiace, who she also used as a pawn in this plan, she starts telling Monique, oh, by the way, Candiace invited your enemy to her party. Like, you know, let's talk about that. How do you feel about that? Isn't that shady? She's supposed to be your friend. Like, all this stuff, like getting it into Monique's head so that she could start to fight Candiace. Like, she just wanted to pretend to be friends with this girl so that she could hurt her down the line and so that she could use Candiace as collateral damage in achieving that goal. I don't know what Gizelle wants out of this. Maybe like just based on her desperation to find a baller, maybe she's going to try and slide into Chris's DMs if Chris were ever to leave Monique or something like that. Who's to say she wouldn't? She seems like that kind of girl who has no sorts of boundaries. Like, there is nothing she won't do to get what she wants out of life. And what Gizelle wants out of life is wealth, status, and a rich ass husband. And she's got none of those things right now, in my opinion. I could be ignorant, but as far as I could tell, based on her outdated fashions and her little, what is that, Mini Cooper that she rides around in, her horrible interior decor, all white appliance kitchen and stuff, she's got none of those things. Sure, she's got a little bit of infamy from being on a reality show, but what she's doing is embarrassing herself on this show at the end of the day. So it's not the kind of status that she is looking for. Guys, are you disappointed to hear what Gizelle and Charisse and Candiace and the rest of the girls, with the exception of Karen, have been trying to do to Monique this season? You know, spreading a lie that she cheated on her husband, Chris, and that the baby is not his. Make sure to let me know all of your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I'm so speechless, you guys. Sections down below. And as usual, we'll chat. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.